Hey! Do you think flat earthers and round earthers should accept the reality of the tree earth model? Are you consistently training to gain the power to protect your ash? Well, congratulations! You might be a world tree barbarian. But what is a world tree barbarian? Well, set sail for distant shores, keep your horns full of ale so vile it could peel paint, and be prepared to fight until you dine in Valhalla, because we're about to Ragnarok the house. Hey, wait! New Barbarian just dropped? Oh man, you know your boy's at full mast. Can you believe it took this long for the Gribbas of the Gulf to give us a true blue Viking barbarian drenched to the greaves in that succulent Norse mythology? And this bad boy slaps harder than a swipe of Fafnir's tail, to the point that it almost makes you want to actually buy this stupid book. But it's just a barbarian that can teleport, they say. Norse mythology is lame. Vikings weren't even really like that. Yeah, well, wizards were just guys who were good at math and sometimes knew which plants to mix together to make napalm, alright? If you can have your magic sticks and funny incantations, I can have my big, burly, half-naked, overly hairy Viking marauders, horned helmet and all. It's pretend, babe. Don't be Yggdrasilly. But this is by far my favorite new thing to hit D&D in a hot minute. And it has nothing to do with my obsession with Thor's hammer. Instead, I can't get over how many doors this opens for a super cool character. You've got great Norse lore, a tree that might be a god, and all that multiverse business slapped on top of a violent rage monkey. And if that doesn't get you just a little bit excited, you can take a long Jormungandr at these nuts. But first, it's my favorite time of year. The leaves are changing, I no longer constantly have swamp ass, and the food, pumpkin pie, pumpkin soup, pumpkin treats and pumpkin popcorn made from pumpkin spiced olive oil. And who better to ring in this spooky season than Ghostfire Gaming and their new book, Grim Hollow Transformed. Now everything you loved about the original Grim Hollow is back and better than ever, with 40 subclasses like the Oath of Slaughter Paladin, the Sanguine Thief, or the Primordial Ranger, 12 transformations to play as anything from a werewolf to a vampire, over 100 magic items, and of course, the Monster Hunter class. This book's got everything you need to run the spookiest game yet and create your own grim adventures in a godless world. There is so much new content in these books, it's hard to talk about it in the time I have, but if you need that scary fantasy setting this holiday, you gotta hit the link below and check out the Kickstarter for Grim Hollow Transformed today. Backers can get all kinds of goodies to fill their trick-or-treat basket, like dice sets, plushies, and so much more, as well as of course these gorgeous books. So click that link right now and be one of the first to get your claws on Grim Hollow Transformed. And remember, tell them Yimba sent ya. A huge thanks to the dudes over at Ghostfire Games for sponsoring the show. And now, back to the video. But maybe you want to learn how to be a warrior with the most bite and the most bark. Well, to do that, you gotta start out as a barbarian. Any good barbarian will get access to letting you shake off incoming attacks and half the damage of any slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage as long as you're not wearing heavy armor, free advantage on all strength checks and saves, and extra damage on all strength-based attacks. But we're using the updated rules now, so each time you flip a tit, you can keep the tantrum going for up to 10 minutes as long as you make an attack, force an enemy to make a save, or use a bonus action to stay mad. Or just think about the fact that people keep hiring The Rock to ruin every movie he's in. That always works for me.
I go hardcore when I train. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. I find a bottle, I pee in it, and I keep training like a beast.
But we also get unarmored defense to let those glistening abdominals do the talking and make our AC equal to our dex and con mods. Turns out not even sword swipes or fireballs can withstand the power of a good flex. But we also pick up something new, and our beefcake barbarian gets a fun treat with weapon mastery. Now you start your journey through the 9 realms with mastery over your favorite weapon, whether that be a great axe, a great sword, or your great brain.
And
Yes, that is your hand, Nanawe. Very good.
Okay, maybe not that one, but we get 2 weapon masteries that come with a ton of unique effects depending on the weapon, like knocking bozos down, cleaving through their friends, or shoving them across the room. But if you get tired of that weapon, don't worry. Most stuff for us is in one ear and out the other anyway. So you can just play around with your new favorite toy for a while before you start the day and master that one instead. But that'll quickly get us to level 2, where Danger Sense got a nice buff, giving us straight advantage on all dexterity throws. Great for not getting burned, especially when we rarely wear a shirt. As well as Reckless Attack to give yourself advantage on all your attacks for a round, as long as you don't mind everybody having advantage against you. But somewhere along our journey, something changes. Our rage becomes different, bigger than ourselves, and somehow, some way, we burst a blood vessel so hard it spans dimensions, and we find ourselves at the foot of the world tree, Yggdrasil. This mighty ash is large enough to reach through realities, connecting them together with the outer and material planes, and this is where our barbarian's abilities really begin to take root. Being blessed by the light of its arboreal might, the Yggdrasil grants us the gift of vitality, to gain temporary hit points equal to our barbarian level each time we activate a rage. A big buff when you remember we half most common types of damage anyway, but like the children's book says, this tree keeps on giving. As our rage is active, we can expand our vitality to those around us with our life-giving force, letting you bestow any creature within 10 feet a number of d6s equal to your rage damage bonus in temporary hit points. These last as long as you're staying angry, and you can keep giving them out every turn for free. So just run around the battlefield to inspire your allies to stay in the fight, as they always know you've got their back. That's why they call you an Asgardian. But that'll let us wrap up level 3 with Primal Knowledge to gain another skill on the Barbarian list, as well as a new upgrade that lets you channel that Rage Monkey magic and make any acrobatics, intimidation, perception, stealth, or survival roll with your strength modifier instead. 4th level grants us another weapon mastery so we can make the shiny things work gooder. 5th level gets us extra attack for 2 attacks per round, and so the Barbarian can keep barbarioning, as well as fast moving for 10 extra feet of movement as long as you're not wearing heavy armor, and so you're never late to the fight. But that'll get us to level 6, where we prove that this Barbarian is the true branch manager. Our branches of the tree ability allows us to call on Yggdrasil while our rage is up and summon its branches around any creature within 30 feet of us. That creature must then make a strength save or be teleported to your location where its speed is reduced to 0. After that, they might as well be low-hanging fruit. You leave the rest to us, and we're pining for an easy target. You guys liking these tree jokes? I got like a million of them. I bought a f***ing buck. This ability also pairs nicely with Feral Instinct and Instinctive Pounce at level 7, giving you advantage on initiative rolls and the ability to move half your speed on the bonus action you enter that rage, letting you get into the fight super fast and cause a ruckus. But that'll jump us up to level 9 with our next new Barbarian ability, Brutal Strike. Now each time you take a reckless attack, you can forget the advantage and instead add a d10 to the damage, as well as get a new special move. Forceful Blow is fantastic, as you can now smack dudes all around the battlefield, pushing the target 15 feet directly away, and allowing you to move half your speed to do it again. Or Hamstring Blow, which sounds like it really sucks, reducing the target speed by 15 feet as you go straight for the legs. The best thing about these special moves is that there is no save. This shit just happens if you land the attack, so go absolutely crazy on whacking people, monsters, or whatever this thing is, and watch as they fly off cliffs or lose their goddamn kneecaps. That brings us to level 10, where we pick up our last weapon mastery, but most importantly, the big beautiful world tree has given us access to her battering roots. Now each time you use a weapon with a heavy or versatile property, the tendrils of the world tree will extend themselves on your behalf, giving you an extra 10 feet of range to all your attacks. Holy shit. And with that insane reach, you can of course do all your weapon specialties like Reckless Attack or Brutal Strikes, but your weapon also gains the Push and Topple properties for free. My lord. Cleave through hordes of enemies while knocking them over and taking their movement, all with no save?
What the fuck? Is this allowed? What the fuck? Is that allowed?
But we'll need to speed things up a bit if we want to make it through the multiverse on time. You guys know how bitchy Ratatasker can get. So Relentless Rage at level 11 works pretty much the same as it did, letting you stay at 1 hit point anytime you should drop to 0, as long as you pass an increasingly difficult con save. Level 13 gives us 2 more Brutal Strikes with Staggering Blow to give baddies disadvantage on the next save it makes and lose any chance for opportunity attacks. Or Sundering Blow, which can knock a guy so hard on the noggin the next attack against them from another creature gets a +5 to that roll. But we really gain mastery over our Tenacious Timber at level 14, where we can travel along the tree. Now as a part of our rage, including when we enter it, we can teleport anywhere we can see up to 60 feet in any direction on that bonus action. This lets us pop right up to a dragon's face to lay down a nasty hit, or get to an ally to provide backup in a pinch. But once per rage, we also get to take our friends with us up to 150 feet. When When you do this, you can nab up to 6 allies and carry them with you, letting you land them anywhere within 10 feet of the spot you chose. This is a hell of a way to get into or out of a hard encounter, get the wizard straight to the healer in a fraction of a second, or appear 100 feet above your target to cannonball them into the ground. Oh my god, this is so cool. So we'll wrap up kinda fast with Persistent Rage, which lets you rage for a full 10 minutes uninterrupted, and now allows you to regain all rages when you start initiative without any. Improve Brutal Strikes at 17 to bump that damage up by another d10 and use 2 effects at the same time. Nasty. Jesus. Indomitable Mind at level 18 to make the lowest you can roll on a strength check or save equal to your strength score, and at level 19 we get an Epic Boon. Epic boons are crazy now, as they act as a full buff every class can choose, and while the recommended Irresistible Offense is pretty cool, letting you increase your strength score, ignore resistance to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage, and deal your full strength score in damage on top of any critical hit, there are actually a lot of dope options here. Boon of Fortitude is just 40 extra hit points and a healing buff. Boon of Energy Resistance can let you resist more types of damage, or Boon of Dimensional Travel can let you teleport on attack rolls for even more bamfing fun. So good lord, I don't know, man. Pick your favorite and just watch your DM have a nosebleed, I guess. But luckily our capstone is the same, and Primal Champion will increase your strength and con scores by 4, making you bigger and buffer than you ever dreamed. And that's all thanks to a Tree's company. So, does the World Tree Barbarian make me want to branch out? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and bet you can see why this subclass is wildly good. I'm almost like scared of it good. The World Tree Barbarian is not only an amazing tank, it also gets great ground control and movement on top of all the new Barbarian stuff, which works really well. This guy is an absolute monster in a fight, tearing through enemies, causing status effects, and choke-slamming bad guys with the power of your wood. That came out wrong. But honestly, I have no notes. Finally, a Barbarian I can take from level 1 to 20 and in my opinion do everything you want a barb to do and more. My only thought is that new folks might get a little bogged down in just how many options you have, but for those combat junkies, my guy, this is your shit. Hands down. I love the lore, I love the abilities, I fucking love this subclass. God, I just need a high-level game to unleash this mayhem on some DM. Sorry guys, this might be my new favorite Barbarian. It's so beautiful. I might just get a little sappy. So if your treehouse is technically in space, your closest coworker is a shit-talking squirrel, and you have all the makings of a hero the people love to root for, guess what? You might be a World Tree Barbarian. Hey guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I actually found a great quote from the Havamal, a collection of Old Norse poems that says, "It's fortunate to be favored with praise and popularity, but it is dire luck to be dependent on the feelings of your fellow man." Basically saying that if you do good things that are worthy of note, that's cool, but don't make that your only source of confidence. Sometimes it feels harder in the internet age to not constantly listen to the criticism of others, but most people don't know your life the way you do. So do your thing and do it well, I think, but who am I to argue with Odin? Either way, I'm proud of you. If you like what I do, you can hop on over to the Patreon and support the channel for just $1, with top-tiered patrons getting games DM'd by me. So, Saurus, Sin, King Osiris, Tedsy, Spider Lover, and Miles Not Yards, you guys are the best. To everyone else, the Discord is in the description, so you can catch me over there, but if not, I hope to see you very soon.